Evening all, and welcome back to Factory Town. So I've been letting this run for a little while here, and this is too slow for my liking. This is way too slow. So I would like to speed this up. The train system I'm on about here that we put in last episode. I would like to speed this up, and I'd like to do it by having a main train system come in and go out, and then have trains come off it. I was thinking about putting in the lay-by system that I did in a little story video, and I think that would work, but I'd need a main system here going along and having these coming off going different places, because this is a little awkward how it works. Something else I'd like to try and do, which I'm going to probably try and figure out off camera, is actually getting a rail system set up so that if a train is coming this way, another cart can join it, but it won't let a cart go that way. And then when all the carts have gone past this way, they can go back again. That way you can get more trains through, or more minecarts through in the throughput. It's complicated to do, and I kind of have an idea how to do it, but I'm not going to do it here because I don't know whether this is actually going to work or not. So yeah, but I think for the moment then what we're going to do is we'll leave that going. It's transporting coal and iron down here just very slowly, and we're going to move our production system. There's a random dog barking, that's right. So yeah, we move our production system over our system here, our iron production, that's the word I'm after, iron production. We'll move our forges, we'll move them over here because they use coal and they use iron, so we have coal and iron stored there, and then we want to take the coal and iron off going somewhere else. So we basically want to have storage and then trains going off doing things as and when they do them. I'm not exactly sure how to do it. It's going to be a little sort of ad-lib tacked on places as we go. The things are going to be a little odd. I think what the best way to do this is going to be right. So if we oh, you're running out of fuel. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. We're going to move this. We're going to move this whole, not the whole lot of it, because I'm going to have just the forge producing iron plates and nails, and we're going to put that into a barn, and then we're going to have that go onto a different rail network which will go off somewhere else. So at least that's the idea. I might just have raw materials come in and then do things as they go, but more than just forges require coal, kitchens require it as well. They're going to need to drop off and pick up. Is awkward to do, but is doable nonetheless. Right. So if I'm going to do this, I need to change up things here straight away. We need to grab all this coal here, and I want to grab the iron as well so we can use that up and not worry about it. And we're going to move this forge over. Thinking this is bad. This is in a bad place right now. This is not ideal. What ideally I should be doing is having the coal and iron delivered to storage, and then pick it up from the storage and take it to where it needs to go. So, for instance, here we do a double sort of whammy with this here. So if I upgrade this again, and then I change the filter on this to be in iron ore for these two, and coal for these two, because that's what's currently required here. Okay, and I'm going to have to change the outputs as well, and move things as well. I think moving them is going to be an idea as well. So let's do this. We're going to get rid of this corn that's here. gone. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to level out that a little bit just to make life a bit easier for myself. Then that's going to go there in between the two. And what we're going to have is we're going to have a delivery system which is going to split between the two places. Try and lower that down. I don't look like I can, or can I? That forge is higher up than it needs to be. Now we've got some of the red coins, we can actually start levelling out the ground in places and doing things to make life a lot easier for ourselves. Because it's so much easier when stuff is on level ground. So much easier. So what I want is input there and input there. I don't want that there. I want that and that. Then I want like that. Okay, that's a very sharp curve coming down. Maybe I want to smooth that out a little bit because I don't think that's going to be fantastic. Yeah, like that. There we go. That looks better, although it's not connected for some bizarre reason, but I think it is connected, it just doesn't show. And then we're going to go up 2 on each of these, which you can't do when you've got things on slopes. No, of course you can't. Oh, foolish me, foolish me. Does that mean we have to bring our barn down? I think it might do. Yeah. Let's bring the terrain down. There we go. Right, okay. So, we want to build a network of chutes that comes out and goes this way and comes out and goes this way. And then goes in there. Oops. And in there. Then we want to build another layer on top. But first I want to put in a grabber there. It's only going to grab iron. And I could have done the filter system there that I've done previously, but I need a grabber on top anyway, so just to make it look good. That wants to be coal. Okay. Then you will get equal amounts of coal and iron as and when the coal and iron is delivered. Which is not right now, because right now the base is in the way. But luckily, as I discovered last episode, we can move it. So we're going to do that. We're going to move the base over there. Like so. For those paths there, right. And stonemason I think can be moved as well. Move to there. There we go. And these people will still work. They'll still move backwards and forwards doing things because they know where the base is and they know what's going on with it. But they're not all that fussed by it. And I now need to figure out this a bit better here because this is not where I want it to be. So really I should have a barn for each storage because we want a lot of storage for things. So if I was to leave that there for the moment and let them trains empty, then let them filters do what they're doing. So we'll let the train go and then we'll cut it off, move it back slightly, because we're going to have storage along here. Just main storage. So even like the grain can come out and become storage at the moment. And then we're going to have processing and then more storage, so that it will go off to be processed and come back to storage, and then other things will do it. And we're going to have loops going backwards and forwards doing all sorts of things. So we'll remove the train track there and that will stop the trains coming. We can move the barn to there, copy it and put another one in. I'm going to leave gaps in between them just in case. And I'm going to filter that to be that, and we're going to turn on those and turn off the filter on those. No, off and off. Okay. I'm also going to do that. That was not what I wanted. I want to grab coal, but I can clear that one, and then that'll grab coal and move coal into there, which is awesome. Right. Can I afford another harvest drill? I can. Great. So we're going to get one of those, and we're going to do it as well. This is going to be upgraded all the way. You're going to get all the coal on you. You're going to get coal, and you're going to get coal as well there, which is fine. Let's remove the rail system. And essentially, this is going to have sort of two loops, I want to say. We're going to have an input and an output. Although I might make it all just the same sort of loop. I might have the track come down, loop around itself and go back again. So I could have probably left that all in there. And then we can have drop-offs on one side and pickups on the other. And then they can go off and do whatever they're doing as and when they need to. And instead of having carts filtered this way, I can go and say, like this is the iron line. If the iron barn is lower than so much, enable the iron line to go and grab it. If not, then just grab the coal. Which does mean need to run a second line up here, unfortunately. Yeah, really I have to run a second line up here to the iron, because having just one line going to both of them isn't probably going to work in the long run. But oh well. Right, so this is where this is where we're drawing the line, right here. The line is drawn here and no further. No. Right, and we can't afford it because we have no more track, and we can't afford a track because we're not building any more tracks. Let's do that. Turn you round, off you go. Thank you. Okay. So you're going to go down here, and you can't drop off into those barns because it's too high. That's fine. That is fine. Because we can grab these sort of things here and do what we did before. So we can I want to do at least two so things can get underneath it. It's going to be the same height as the previous ones. I'm going to move that one to being there. I'm going to move that one to being there. Okay. So we'll just do that and that. And that will work. That would work. So we want to put a rail stop in there and there. And that will allow coal to drop into the coal and iron to drop into the iron. We don't have any way of looping around here, so let's bring this back a little tiny bit and loop them around like so, because we're out of rails and we're not making any because we're not dropping off anything here as well, because we're running out. If I'm going to have this be, so we say 3 long, three big. Oh, there we go. That's not a very smart thing to do there. Put ourselves a silo. In one of those, and then put in a conveyor belt there. And we're going to have to do exactly the same on the other side as well. This one's going to be filtered with iron, and this one's going to be filtered with coal. Okay, now it's a bit weird having the input and output on the same line for the minute, but that will change. This is only going to come down to say here and go back again. So yeah, in fact, let's do that. Let's do that right now. So let's say it's going to come down to here at the absolute most. Oh, always forget that you can't grab rails from a scaffold block. There we go. So it goes down to there at the absolute most. Then we're going to have one come along this way. Which I'm confusing myself. I've just realised I'm confusing myself because that's not gonna work, is it? It's not gonna work. It's clearly not gonna work, and I don't know what I'm doing. This line should come down and stop here, and then this side of it will be the input, and then the other side of it will be the output. Okay, then in between you have the storages and you have the industrial and bits and pieces that you want to do, but then the output becomes the input as well because the lines restore unless you have a second line going around to the input. If that makes sense, that's difficult to wrap my head around, even myself. If I split this straight down the middle here, if I did that and split it down the middle, so we've got two segments. But this side is going to be where we have our storages. We have all the storages here, and then you have all the production in the middle, and then you have all the pickups on the other side. But then that won't work because certain things have to come out as well as go in. So, like for instance, cloth requires cotton, so the cotton's going to be an input and cloth's going to be an output, but the output is also have to go to the input because that's required elsewhere. I'm confusing myself as I'm doing things, and I'm probably confusing you along with it, and I do apologise about that, but I'm slightly losing the plot as to what I want to do. I think I want to have the barns. Yeah, because every barn is going to have access to two rails, one that's depositing and one that's taking out. But the drawback to that is like here, if I put a third barn in here and say this barn is going to be iron plates, because we use them all over the place, so they don't just have to be in one place. Iron plates are used all over the place. We'll pick up the coal and iron, bring it along, drop it off here, but then we need another train coming back onto this line, so that line does need to go that far, which doesn't make sense because yeah, that doesn't make sense in my head. That's not making any sense. Bear with me in for a moment. I'm going to try and figure out what exactly I want to do. I think I'm just confusing myself, and then I shall be right back. Right, so I think I've come up with an idea, but then every time I seem to come up with one, I figure out something that's wrong with it. I think I'm looking at this wrong. I want to put in, like, for instance, this over here. My brain is going, well, I want to put in iron and coal, then bring the iron and coal over here, and then produce the goods with this, and then take it back again. But that's not what I want to do, because this is part of the industrial sector. This should be in the complex. So really, we should have a line of barns, or quite possibly the base itself, because that can store many more things. I might empty the base completely and redo all its filters and use it as a giant storage block, which is what it essentially is. But we dump everything into, say, the base, for instance, and then we have conveyors and other bits and pieces coming out and doing different things. So if something needs cotton for producing cloth, then it will come out of the base. The cotton will come out of the base. It will go into the workshop, and then the workshop can go. I'm making the cloth, and the cloth can go back into the base, and we'll have a big array of logic somewhere going, if this is full of that, then don't turn on the grabbers to do stuff. So we never have to worry about belts overfilling and everything going wrong. That does mean a very complicated belt system, which is fine. It's doable. It's fine. It's not a problem. It's complicated, but it's doable. In that way, basically, the base sits on. It could sit in the centre. Probably sit in the centre would be the best idea. The railway will come in and drop off any of the goods, and we can have the railway just travelling around. We can have it going all over the place. So if it wants to come over here and pick up trees, it can. If it wants to go over here and pick up this, it's fine. I think I'll still have the pastures out here, so that may be on their own line, rail line. They'll be the only exceptions there. Everything else will be in the industrial area. And then the only trains that come out other than the pastures will be the trains that come out to deliver the final goods to here. Because that's all we need. We don't need a train coming out delivering to this and a train going to that. We don't need them. We just need it here. So I don't want to do this. This build is wrong. Is incorrect. So we need to look at the end game early on. What is the best thing that we can sell for each class of things in here? So, sandwich, we're already making them, that's good. Meat stew or fish stew. Okay, we can make those. Veggie stew or jam. Yep, we can make that. Cheese, pain to make, but yes, we can make that. Or protein shake or butter. I think they all come from milk anyway, so yeah, dairy just completely comes from milk, which would make sense. And gourmet is apple pie or berry cake. So basically, we'd have 5 trains coming from the HQ out to here to give sandwich, meat stew, veggie stew, cheese, and berry cake. That one. And then the general store will have 4 trains coming out, which would be a reinforced plank, a warm coat, a pickaxe, and metal conveyor belts. And then the apothecary, again, would have 4 trains. So that's 4, 8, 13 trains coming out of there. So, but you only need 1 stop, but you do need 13 slots in here for the goods. This is where stuff becomes a little awkward, because if I want to have this as a stopgap, so everything goes in and out of the base, it becomes awkward. It becomes very awkward. But it's easier because cloth is used in several places. It's used to make medicinal wraps for, so for here it says medical wraps. It's used to make them, and it's also used in the general store to make warm coats. So it's needed in at least 2 places, maybe even more because of how it works, how you make a warm coat. So that would mean that if it's needed in 2 places, we've got 1 output from the base going to the workshop and back in again, so that's 2 slots. And then we have 2 more outputs going off to 2 other places and then come back into the base, so that's another 4 slots. So you're already on 6 slots. That's already, yeah, that already becomes a bit of a problem. Now we can get around that using caravans and things if we wanted to, but or I could stick with the barns, but the barns are going to take a lot of space if we do this. It's going to take an awful lot of space, and the storage and the base does upgrade as we go on, does build more things. So I think I'm going to go the base route. I think that's going to be the best idea. We have is put the base in and then do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out who is connected to the base. Right, and I'm going to say you stop, You stop. You deliver to there now for the moment. And you can also stop. Okay. In fact, I'm going to get rid of you. Okay, so no one's connected to the base now. No. Right. So what I'm going to do first, and I'm going to do this off camera because it's going to take a little while, is I'm going to empty the base of all its goods into individual barns, and I'll be back once it's empty and I can set all the filters up. I'll do that. I'll set all the filters up. Everything will be awesome with it. Right. So the base is empty and I have set up filters on it. I could not filter everything because we don't have enough slots for that, because there's a lot of items, which, yeah. So what I've gone with is the raw goods for everything. So I've taken wood, but I haven't taken a plank, because that can be stored in a barn. Same for stone, iron, gold, coal doesn't become anything, but yeah, it's the raw goods. These are all things that are made just from the land. They're picked up by a mine or by a farm or whatever. The exception is the rails, the conveyor belts, and the metal conveyor belts at the bottom there. It was just because I wanted to fill them all in, but everything else is naturally occurring either from a pasture or from the ground. So that makes sense. And then the idea being, we'd move the base over to here somewhere, and we'd have a train come in. Let's move. Oh, remove that, shall we? Not put more down. We would have the train system come in. Loop around. Drop off his goods and like that. There we go. And there's no cross rail there, so they'll come on, they'll go around, come back in. And drop off the goods into the base, and that'll be awesome. But we want to change a few things here. We want to essentially, I want to double up this line anyway to have it as a loop, so I don't have to worry about trains stopping in it. I could have it as a single loop and do it, but I'd much rather have a single train doing it, because I'm going to have offsets going off and doing things and so on and so forth. So to do that, I need more rails. I did try and get this production going again by changing almost everyone here to trees to get this going, so we've got more iron going on, but I forgot to turn on that, so we don't have any more rails. What a plum. Oh well, doesn't matter. Nope, doesn't matter. Right. So yeah, oh, I suppose you can be emptied. Into the base. Although you've got 250 on you, which is, you've got 1,000 on you, and the base can only store 800 or anything. So that's a bit of a problem. I have got 8 wheels as well, and I don't know where to put them because I don't have any place for them to fit. Something else I noticed as well is caravans can deliver all goods. You can say, like here, you can go that one there, deliver everything, which means it will grab the first 4 of whatever. Well, it's only going to grab 4 because there's only 4 items in there, but it will grab whatever's in there and deliver to wherever you say it to, and it ignores filters. So if I say grab everything from that base and put it in that barn there, this will then take the wood, the stone, the rails, and the conveyor belts and put them in that barn, even though it's filtered to only be wood. So that's just something to bear in mind. I don't know if it can override them if you do it this way. It does. Yeah, the caravans just seem to ignore filters completely. They'll just dump stuff in whatever, wherever. 250 wood there and that there. So right. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a little bit of logic somewhere here. Now, you are on the ground. Let's flatten that down there, spending loads of our money. I am going to just flatten the terrain a lot, even with resource underneath it. I know it's not ideal because it's up on mountains, things like that, but I want a big flat area here for doing stuff. And I realise I've got loads of grain here as well, but there is grain elsewhere. Grain is dotted around all over the place, so I think we'll be okay for grain once it starts coming in. So I'm going to get you to empty, deliver to there, and you'll empty all the bits out there to there. What are you doing? What are you? What? Hang on. Where you're going? There? Ah, you're trying to get stone. Ah, of course. That's. Sure, I unlinked everything from the base. It's odd. We have stone in that one. So grab stone and do that. Okay, there you go. Right. And that's empty. These caravans are really, really quick. It's unbelievable. Now that's a bit of a problem. You can't deliver to there, can you? No, that's too high. Even though the base is a bigger building, it's too high. So this needs to come down, which is a little awkward. Is that really as high as you can go? Yeah, I suppose the base still follows the same principles as everything else. It's got to follow the three-way thing. I'm going to turn it around so that the windows, there are no windows on the front. Oh, there are windows. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I just want to make them look good. I want to make them feel good. Back again. Then rails come down, go that way, go around, go that. There we go. Okay, so they'll come down and then they'll slow down going back up again. I'm going to remove that tree. There we go. Okay, that's a lot higher than I thought it was. But it's fine. So it's a little bit slow. I could put in a... Oh, I can't really put in a filter there. Because it only drop off one lot of goods at a time, which is no good. No good. Okay. Do you want to take some coal? Do that, please. And fill the base up with coal. So, we need to change this up here. This needs to be better than what it currently is. We need to go up here, turn around and come back down again and reconnect to the main loop, which will be a loop, I think. Might lower the loop down then and actually have it so that when carts come off the loop they go up to where they need to go to. That's 2. No. Yeah, so we're going to have another rail in here by the looks of it. And I think it's going to have to be just as long as that one. And well, it doesn't have to be. It's got to be just as long as that one, but it doesn't have to be like this. So what we can do is we can go cut that off there and go. You're going to 180 on yourself. And then go back down, join that loop there. Okay. And then I'm going to put a filter in there. And say you're only allowed to pass coal. Now will that work? Most importantly, will this work here? Will this just block this minecart? And that will. Well, I hope it will. So you go through, you get stopped. Awesome. Turn you off. Off you go. Right. Now that is going to spread them out and cause all sorts of weirdo problems here. I was just trying to figure out how to do this so I don't have to worry about the train coming back and being on the wrong. I want it to come this way, but I don't want it to go that way, and that's not possible unless I put a pusher in there. But then a pusher will push the cart that way all the time, which is something I don't want. So that's not coal, that wants to be iron. That's the iron mines up there. Yeah, this is the coal mine. Because the iron cart could come down and actually bash into the other cart as it's coming along here. So what we do would be, you go that way, you come this way. Nope, that's still not going to work. You're always going to prefer to go straight on, aren't you? They're probably going to bump into each other anyway on that track there, because they're now running at different times. I have 61 rails. Let's do this properly. Let's do this properly. I'm being half-assed about it, and I shouldn't be. I should be doing stuff correctly first time round. I'm going to get rid of these trees. There, there, and there. Okay, and then we're going to put in some scaffolding. That should have been on scaffolding anyway, so get that out. Right, then we put a rail in. It doesn't matter which way it goes because trains work both ways, which is perfect. There we go. And then what we need to do is connect these two tracks up with it. Sorry about that, I've just punched the mic. Okay, so I want to get rails, do that, and then rails and do that. There we go. Okay, so the trains will come along here, will turn and go straight up, and then come back down again. But if they can't go straight up, they'll turn off. So that's absolutely fine. And then they'll go up here, and they'll go up there, and then come back again. And that'll be really awkward when they're returning. It doesn't matter for the moment. It doesn't matter for the moment. We'll redo this as and when we need to. In fact, do you know what? No, let's not do it as when we need to. Let's do it right now. I could have one line on this. I don't need to build all this here. I'm not thinking. That's the problem. I'm not remembering how I'm doing stuff. That comes up, goes around, comes back again, and that is a filter that will let coal go on, iron go on, and then when it comes back again, it will join this, and it needs to come this way. How do we make it come this way without allowing it to go straight on? Again, I could put a pusher there, but that will push the iron cart before it gets to the filter. Is not what we want. What if we push them off here? what if I got a pusher and or one way will work for this sort of thing, and did that and say you have to go out there. So you go out, you'll come along and you go down and blah. There you go, like that. Okay. And then no, we don't want to do that. That won't work because then they'll just go round and round and round in a loop. No, they won't. No, they won't. We'll go pusher and a pusher. No, that won't work because when you come back down, you'll get blocked as well. I can't do this. I can't do this. I need a second off. A second off track where this one only goes up to the iron and this one goes off to the coal. Now I can't do that because that's going to be in the way of herbs. Wow, having to go around all these resources really is a pain. But is doable. Is doable. Right. So what if I just do this? And I'm gonna be lazy. It's quite interesting. You can copy rail from a slope. That works, but you can't copy it from a scaffold block. Not quite sure why. Very odd. Okay, no. We want to go like that. There we go. Okay, and I do want to have a track that goes that way. And then I want to have a pusher set to that one and a pusher set to that one. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually going to extend this a little tiny bit, make it more representative of how the rail should actually be. I do realise I've gone on quite a bit for this episode, and I've gone on to a tangent on this episode, and I'm very sorry about that. It's a bit. So you'll come up here, go along there, go down there, loop around there, come back again, yada yada yada. That's fine. That's happy. Everything is awesome. People are happy. Yay. Right. So now let's set the logic up for that. That was the bit I was trying to get to, and I've confused myself like mad. So we're going to need an inventory center, and yeah, we need an inventory sensor to say turn that on if this is below a certain amount. Okay. Now I don't want to. I mean, I could put my logic wherever. Really, I could put it next to this barn here and say check that there. But it's the Let's put it on this hill here. Build a little platform for logic. Okay, so now I know what I'm doing. Right. So you want to be checking the base, and you want to be checking it for coal. Okay. And in this we want a math block, and that wants to link to that, and that wants to say if we are less than what can the base hold? 800. Let's go with 500. Less than 500, then it's true. So we want to turn on that pusher. But we also want to have an agent trigger here. I want to set it to enter in and exit out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And in fact, no, we can put the agent trigger over here. It doesn't have to be on the railway because we can set the offset to be that block there. So if a cart enters this block, okay, with anything on there, it doesn't matter, just if a cart enters this block, then we want to toggle. We want to say, hey, a cart's here. So a toggle. So right now it's false, which it is not, it's true. So let's toggle that. You are linked to that. Okay. And then we want to get a bool function, and this wants to be a AND gate. Okay, and I'm going to toggle that back again. So the toggle means no because someone has passed this off. Anyway. Right. And then that goes to that, that goes to that, that goes to that. Okay. Now, is that correct? We're currently false, so that is true, that is false. So this does want to be toggled there. So that's true, that's true. So we're good. So false does that. Okay. Right. And then I want to take this minecart off there, put it there, and you can go off and do your own thing. I'm going to turn this one off just temporarily to test stuff. So right now, this is saying path is empty. Yeah. Needs a delay. The agent trigger needs a delay. Oh. So remove that, and I want to put in a timer block. And I want to set the timer to 1 second, I think. I might allow multiple carts to come up at the same time. Don't know. Let's find out. Let's see what this does. Oh, you turned right. Why did you turn? Of course you turned right. Yes, because carts prefer to turn right. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That does not matter. Because it doesn't matter because then all carts just turn that way. That's absolutely fine. All carts prefer to turn right. That's not a problem. Okay. So you'll go along, you'll drop off that in there. We have more than 800. So we have less than 500, so that's false. So why is that saying true? Oh, we haven't linked that. There we go. So, oh, we want a train stop as well. I'm forgetting all the things here. Right, and then bomb. That did not trigger. Why did that not trigger? We're detecting coal, and if it's less than 500, then it should be true. And it is currently more than 500. So if I say take out coal and put it there, will you trigger that, please? You can't do anything here. Right, so you now stop. Okay, so we're still higher than 500. That's fine. Okay. So that's going to trigger that and say, boom, that's false because it's over 500. That's still false. That's fine. That's absolutely perfect. There we go. And every time this goes around, that's firing. I'm fine with that for the minute. I could put in one of those delta blocks there and say, don't do that. So there we go. So now we've got minecarts going around and they're just going to ignore everything if it's on that. So we want to copy this whole thing over here. So let's just copy it. Let's just copy it one for one. So copy, timer, toggle, and agent trigger. Okie dokie. Right. Now you want to be on the base. You want to be set to iron and linked to the math block. The iron wants to be less than 500. And then that is linked to the AND gate. The agent trigger is going to have an offset of that block there. So it only reads when actual trains come up here. It doesn't read trains on the main track. And you set to that. You set to the time block. Time block goes to the bool function. The bool function goes to the pusher, like so. And if I don't want it triggering every time, as I said, I can put in fact, I think I'm going to do that for this one. Put in the delta block in there. The ball function goes to that. Unlink from that, the delta block goes to that. Okay. And then exactly the same here. Put in a delta block, and the delta block will take as many signals as it likes, but it will only pass on the information if the signal changes. So the first time there, it's obviously fired. Now every time this logic goes, it's going to go yep, not going to do anything, and then as soon as this changes to true, this will fire and open the gate. Then when it changes to false, that will fire again and close the gate. Then it's going false, and it will ignore it, and which means you haven't got all them fancy lines going everywhere. That wants to be set to true. Okay. Now, does that mean we have less than 200? We have less than 500 in there. True means the line is clear. So this agent trigger has not triggered. So it means the line is clear. So yes means go. In our case here. So that will push you up here. And then a second later, you toggle that and turn that off. In fact, I could get away. I don't even have to have that time block there. I could just change the thing to be an exit. So as soon as it exits the block, it triggers. But then it pusher might re-enable and push it back up again. So we'll see. But the advantage of doing it this way, rather than having individual carts with their own filter set, is that now, when this cart comes back down again and is going along, the system will trigger and will go, hey, if there's another empty cart, we still need more iron. So send it up here, and away it'll go. And it won't send another one up here because this rail is now in use. And you can have as many empty carts as you like on your track doing things. So if demand for iron is high, it will send them down the iron route, but won't send them down the copper route. If you had half your carts set to coal, sorry, not copper, it's coal, 2 butts. If you had half your carts set to coal and half of them set to iron, only half of them will ever go and get the iron, and the other ones will just drive round and round in circles forever doing nothing. So this works. That's a very long stretch to be having for a single cart. I'd much rather have this set up as a better way of doing things. There are better ways of doing this, I suppose. I could put in laybys every so many blocks. I could say, well, if I want 20 blocks, then do this, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this system works. So we are now delivering, with logic, coal and iron to the base. Quite happily. Oh god. The harvest drill is still going for coal. That's fine. That's fine. We're not fussed about that. You run out of that. You run out of that. You run out of that. This is all good. This is all good. This is bad. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because this is all going to get moved next episode. It was going to be this episode, but I'm very sorry. I've taken too long. So yeah, next episode we're going to move the forges out to here, and the forges are going to then just do one thing. They're going to take iron plates. They're going to take iron ore and make it into iron plates. And then that will go into a barn. And then from the barn, the iron plates will go to wherever they need to go to, which could be several places. Might do it with conveyors, might do it with railways, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of doing it like the industrial sector is going to be conveyor belts everywhere. And I might also make things a little 3D, if I can. And by that I mean having belts like really close together, kind of like what I've got there, having 3 belts together doing things. So one barn will output 3 to that. So we might have 3 forges going into one barn, so on and so forth. It depends on the demand. It also depends on how I can fit things in, because it's a bit awkward at the moment, if I'm honest with you, because of spacing. If I put in a forge there to a barn and then another one, it uses a lot of space. But yeah, and also I need to keep things a bit away from the base because I need outputs on the base to be like multiple outputs. So yeah, but we can figure that out. I mean, you can have one output to a silo, and then the silo can have 9 outputs on it. So yeah, okay. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave this one. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.